G'day, it's Rob here again. Well, in that last video I showed you a couple of really beautiful knives that Bill Baggins from Tassie sent me, and one's in a sheath and one's no sheath. And of course we've all got knives in workshops, you know, that's the whole thing, you've got to have knives. And here's my sort of selection that falls to hand, and that one's okay. It's, you know, it's razor sharp, and there's an old kitchen knife with a serrated edge, sort of for a rubber, and there's an old ex-fishing knife there. And this is the one I use just about all the time because it's compact, the blades are replaceable, so you can resharpen them of course, and it's a top pocket knife. You can see it's all scratched up, it's had a lot of use, and you just pull this little tab and the blade folds under. Really good. They're good because you can put them in your pocket, they're not going to stick in your leg or anything, and you know, once again, if you've got one with the sheath on, they're good if you've got a belt or something, but you've got to be a bit careful with them, taking them out, you know, holding the sheath in one hand and the knife in the other. If they're a snug fit, you could cut yourself. I'll show you what I mean. These are the two beautiful knives that Bill made for me, and that one's no sheath. That's meant, Bill said he deliberately didn't make a sheath for it. I suppose you call it a scabbard as well, can you? And he wanted me to use it in the workshop. For this one, it's got one, and it's a snug fit, and you've got to watch when they come out. They can come out with a whiz, and you could easily cut yourself. But then you've got to have them snug if you've got them on your belt, so that the knife doesn't fall out when you're walking. So this is the sort of knife you'd have if you were, say, you know, shooting rabbits or something like that, and you want to work on them. So anyway, no problem. But this, being a beautiful knife and being really sharp, you've got to be careful where you put it. You know, if you reach in and to grab something amongst knives, you could cut yourself. So I want to make up a scabbard for this. And I have made scabbards before. I made one for my rabbiting knife, and didn't do as nice a job as that, of course. But so as this is going to be used on the bench, I thought, no leather, no scabbard. I'll make a knife block. And a knife block, you know what those knife blocks are, they're those things you have in the kitchen. Block of wood with a whole lot of slots, and you can drop a whole lot of knives in. And they're really handy, you know, for anything sharp. You can just grab them and take them out. They're easy to use. I didn't want a great big knife block sitting on the bench, so I'll show you what I'm making. I'm not quite there yet, but we'll finish it off in this video. So here it is. It's got a weight on it, lead weight on it. I've done a bit of gluing on it this morning, but basically all they are is two blocks of wood, the same size, side by side, glued together. But before you glue them, you mortise out one of them, so that goes right through. So you just cut down through one block the depth you want to go on each of the sides, and I usually do one or two in the middle as well. That way then you can just chisel out the wood a lot easier with a few extra through slots. And there it is, it's just glued up with PVA glue, woodworking glue. And this morning I just glued a bit of rubber on top of it so that when the knife goes in, it's not going to damage that beautiful finish. I was going to put leather on, but I put some old conveyor belt on there in the end. I didn't have any suitable leather. It was all pretty old. So yeah, I mean, you could leave it freestanding if you want to, but that's not what I'm going to do. The idea is when the knife just drops in, and you just take it out and put it in. And the idea I'm going to do with this is I'm going to actually just screw it to the side of a set of shelves I've got. You've seen my old set of shelves with more screwdrivers in. Well, I'll stick it over there. And so the next step, once the glue dries, the next step is just to drill through on each side, because, you know, bearing in mind you've got plenty of wood there for the screws to go through. Drill through and then just screw it onto the side of something. And I'll show you where it's going to go. I mean, you could just leave it there like that, freestanding, I suppose, but it could fall over. It's going to be in the way. I mean, workspace is precious anyway. So I thought I'd just probably just now that it's here, So it's out of the way, won't get sprayed by the grinder, stuff from the grinder which is not that far away, and I can just reach over and grab it. So that's the plan, that's where it will go. I'll just use a couple of countersunk screws, and it's 40mm deep, so these are 50mm screws, that'll be enough, and just screw it onto the side of this. Should work real good. I mean, that'll stop the knife getting marked, and you can just see there's no drag, you can just put them in, take them out, no problem. And being pine, it won't blunten the blade. You could use a hardwood if you want to, but I just did pine. I mean, the knife box you buy are pine anyway, by the look of it. Most of them, well, mine is anyway, so yeah, I think that's a pretty cool way to do it, don't you? So that's the way it's going to be. Bloody crack right where I want to put it. It's not going to be any good. Bloody nuisance. That's really where I want to put it. Oh, bridge it. She'll be the bee's knees when she's finished. Look at that, eh? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Workmanship. Oh. Look, it's top quality. Top quality. Right. Put the last hole in it. More like it. Yeah, it's all doing good. a little bit. Good. Pretty even. How's that grab you, Mabel? Pretty good. That will be the bee's knees. So there you go, job complete. Easy to get out, easy to put in, don't make your slot too tight. Ready for action. Beautiful knife. Yep, deserves a top quality holder. Alright, that's it from me. See you next time. Cheers.